Top of the morning.
Oh, right. I gotta get this to Ace. You!
Oh, hey, Sidekick, what's up?
What's up, dude? How long have I been lying out there?
I don't know, a few months maybe?
A few months? Dude, didn't it occur to you to, I don't know, take me to the fucking hospital?
I mean, I made sure to feed you.
You're an asshole.
And you love me, so what's up?
I don't think I should show you now.
Oh, come on, please.
No.
I'll give you a Snickers bar.
Well...
Sorry, Mom.
Damn it, Ace!
Look, we're not gonna get anywhere by bickering. Just show me what you found.
Fine.
Long ago, in a land unlike any other, there was a disc that contained the most metal game of all time. The elders called it the Brütal Game of Legend, but those who've played it know it as Brütal Legend. It contained great power that was sought after by many evils. To protect the disc, the gods sent it to Earth, where it was discovered by a lowly game developer, who then distributed it across the globe. Through time, the disc would become lost, most likely because it was left on a bus or something like that. To those who wish to find the disc must do two things: locate the disc and review the Brütal Game of Legend.
Whoa. You mean like this one?
What? Where did you find that?
Oh, I just found it in a dumpster one day.
What were you doing?
Don't even ask. So, we gonna play this thing or what?
Hell yeah, dude, let's do it.
Lose the hood.
Perfect.
The time has come, folks. This is Brütal Legend. Let's rock.
Brütal Legend was developed by Double Fine Productions and was published by EA for the Xbox 360 and PS3 on October 13th, 2009. It later saw a release on Steam almost 5 years after its initial release. This was due to a lawsuit issued by Activision after they dropped the game after the original publisher, Vivendi Games, merged with the company. Double Fine then issued a countersuit since, Activision didn't want the game in the first place.
Tim Schafer's vision to bring his heavy metal world to real life really clicked with critics and gamers thanks to its great writing, story, and voice cast. Double Fine really went all out hiring such talents as daPlaque, Ozzy Osbourne, and even Tim Curry. Thanks to these elements, critics gave Brütal Legend fairly decent scores with only one major hiccup, but we'll get to that later.
Brütal Legend was announced back in 2007 through Game Informer and was heavily marketed after its initial reveal. A promotional concert was held at Comic-Con featuring Gwar, 3 Inches of Blood, Unholy Pink, and Keith Morris. daPlaque even dressed up as his character Eddie Riggs on Jimmy Kimmel to promote the game. It was even the official sponsor of the Mastodon and daPlaque concert back in 2009. I actually remember hearing about this game through a trailer from Metalocalypse, which had Eddie Riggs protecting the band from one of the game's enemies.
I too was introduced to this game in a similar fashion.
Oh yeah? How?
I was introduced to it by my father. He was a wise man.
And?
No, that's it.
Brütal Legend begins as every story should, with a fucking metal concert. Unfortunately, the stage is about to be taken over by the worst rock band in the world, Cabbage Boy. In the shadows, we find our protagonist, Eddie Riggs, tuning a guitar for the show, when the guitarist and the rest of the band walk up to Eddie and start giving him shit. Eddie is widely known as the best roadie in the biz, according to the lead singer, so someone want to tell me why this skinny little nobody is hassling a dude 3 times his size?
Yeah, seriously. It's almost as bad as them ignoring him when he specifically said not to climb on the stage props. Oh, son of a bitch. This inevitably leads to, you guessed it, him falling like a dumbass. Eddie then takes action, running to save the guitarist while staying in the shadows, as not to disrupt the concert further. He does manage to save his life, but at a cost. The entire stage collapses on top of Eddie, leaving him gravely injured.
Things then take a turn for the weird as blood drips from Eddie's hand into the mouth of the belt buckle, which summons the great fire beast, Ormagoden.
The cremator of the skies, the destroyer of the ancient ones, and all around one badass looking motherfucker.
Ormagoden then transport Eddie to a world unlike our own, but not before killing the band and I assume the audience as well. Eddie wakes up to some strange druids around an axe stating the day has finally come to serve our master. Eddie states that he is in fact not their master, and the druids agreeing with him try to murder him.
Not feeling like dying a second time in one day, Eddie picks up the axe and begins slaughtering all foes that come his way. He then finds his guitar was transported to this world as well, and has mysteriously been granted magical abilities. Using the combined power of his axe and axe, he fights his way through hordes of demonic druids and nuns, which are kinda sexy in a weird way, until he meets Ophelia, a freedom fighter for the human resistance, who agrees to help Eddie fight through the horde, finding their way blocked by... oh god, that's a lot of dudes. Eddie uses his guitar Clementine to raise an ancient relic that turns out to be instructions to build an ancient hot rod, which Eddie names the Druid Plow.
Not wasting any time, Eddie and Ophelia race through the temple to get away from the army. Unfortunately, they don't make it past the feeding area, which is home to a giant pierced vagina worm. Well, that's a sentence I never thought I'd hear myself say. While Ophelia tries to open the gate, Eddie distracts the sexual monstrosity by ramming his car into its tongues, paralyzing it for a short time. This proves futile since they're still stuck in the feeding area, but using the power of metal, Eddie opens the gate and kills the worm, leaving the couple to head to Bladehenge, the home of the human resistance. Here we meet the Halford siblings, Lita and Lars, who tell Eddie of the Chosen One, who would be sent by Ormagoden to either destroy the world or save it. Eddie, of course, chooses to help them, but finds out that the resistance is only made up of currently 3 people.
Who? Jesus Christ. The only humans we've met already, dumbass.
You don't have to be a dick about it.
Whatever. Eddie then hops into the Druid Plow, aka the Deuce, and sets out to build an army of heavy metal inspired warriors such as Headbangers, Razor Girls, and even Lemmy Kilmister himself.
Speaking of Deuce, I'll be right back.
Do you need any toilet paper?
Nah, I'm good. Oh, hey, it's Bigfoot. How'd you get in my bathroom? You want a snack or something? God, no, he's attacking me! Ah! Ah!
Yeah, that's cool, dude.
Oh, the humanity, his hands are so big and muscular!
Mm-hmm, yep.
Why aren't you helping me? There's so much going on over here! Oh, gross, there's a booger on me! Fuck!
Hey, dude. How was your shit?
It was eventful. I killed Bigfoot.
Are you on shrooms?
No.
Oh. Well, that's cool. So you think we should talk about, like, the music and graphics and stuff?
Yeah, I suppose we should.
Awesome. So, you killed Bigfoot. You're a murderer now.
Just shut up and talk about the presentation.
When it comes to presentation, Brütal Legend is an absolute wonder in both graphics and music. The overworld is where the game truly shines. Brütal Legend's open world is chock full of different environments with their own metal twist. You could be driving around and see some impressive sights, such as a waterfall of liquid metal or a giant wall of amps. There was never a dull moment while exploring the vast open world.
I agree. Each new area I found myself in was more impressive than the last. I especially love how varied the environments are. You could be traveling through a desert, then find yourself in a frozen wasteland, or even a dense jungle filled with laser panthers. Goddamn laser panthers!
Seriously, how cool are laser panthers?
They're metal as fuck! Speaking of laser panthers, there are several different types of creatures you will encounter on your journey. These creatures are all beautifully designed and fit in their metal world. Thanks to this, it feels like the world the game presents to us could actually be real, and is very welcome to a world with this much grandeur and lore.
Many of the characters are very well designed, albeit for a few misses here and there. My favorite designs have to be Fleetus, the race car crazy demon who wants to prove that he's the best racer ever, and Drowned Ophelia. Just the way they took a familiar face and morphed it into this menacing yet badass design is so damn awesome.
And sexy.
Shut up.
Well, my favorite character design-wise has got to be the main antagonist, Daviculus. I mean, holy shit, this dude is just so goddamn cool looking, menacing, powerful, and tight, just like I like my monsters. Another design I have to really give props to is Ormagodon from the beginning of the game. I mean, it's a giant beast of pure metal that roars with the power of 1,000 engines, plus his hands are devil horns. Fucking metal.
Of course, not all designs hit at home. If you ask me, aside from Drowned Ophelia, many of the enemies aligned with the Sea of Black Tears are kind of lackluster in my opinion. Sure, they symbolize gothic subculture and black metal, but am I supposed to be afraid of a head with hair that can stretch? I don't think so.
Regardless, there is a large variety of enemies to face in the game. You can find small clusters around the overworld that you can fight in between missions, or you could just completely ignore them if you wish. And I wouldn't blame you since you'll be most likely jamming out to these rockin' tunes. Seriously, there's a large number of licensed songs from bands like Def Leppard, Judas Priest, Black Sabbath, and even Tenacious D themselves. I can't play any of these songs because, well, you know.
Of course, the game also boasts an impressive original score by Peter McConnell, whose other work include Grim Fandango, Psychonauts, and even Sly Cooper 2. The themes really make the overworld feel more alive, and vary depending on your location. The tone can shift from calm and serene while in Bladehenge to dark and foreboding, like in the Dry Ice Mines. It's unfortunate that these themes aren't really that memorable, and are often foreshadowed by the licensed songs, but they're still fantastic pieces of music.
The voice acting is arguably some of the best I've heard in a video game. Jack Black, as always, gives a stellar performance as Eddie. He's so goddamn funny and likable as a character. Everybody else gives a solid performance as well, but I especially love Ozzy Osbourne as the Guardian of Metal. I just can't get over how hilarious he is in this role. I always look forward to visiting him inside the Motor Forges. He's always got something to say.
You have interrupted the Guardian of Metal's nap. The Guardian of Metal's getting a little bit tired of all this. Every time you come back, there's another fucking scratch on that beautiful car.
Wait, what do I have to do for a fire tribute?
Please the fucking gods of metal, man. Figure it out.
Right, okay. I'll be back soon, covered in metal god love.
Oh, God.
As a complete 180, Tim Curry's Daviculus is terrifying as fuck. And I got nothing.
Seriously?
What? The guy's fucking scary. I mean, spoilers by the way, he straight up murders Lars with no hesitation after their victory over Lion White. What else is there to say besides he's a bad guy who gets shit done? Plus, he can be savage as fuck.
I'll give it up. Whatever victories your demon blood grants you will soon be unraveled by your human weakness. Come and see me when you grow a pair as big as your mother's.
Damn, dude, I forgot all about that.
Yeah. So what does the script say we should do next?
Let's see here. Let's see, sexual tension.
Yeah,
just a little bit. Big foot.
Right.
It says we need to talk about the gameplay.
Sounds like a good idea, my friend.
Brütal Legend's gameplay is a variety pack of gameplay styles and mechanics. After Eddie acquires his axe and guitar, the game becomes a hack and slash utilizing these two weapons. You use Eddie's axe to cut down enemies and will most likely be the main way you fight, but there's also Clementine. Eddie can use a sick riff machine to summon lightning, fire, and other kick-ass stuff. But be careful, if you use the guitar too much it'll burn Eddie's fingers and will need to cool down. You can equip these weapons with different abilities which not only do more damage but also give these weapons different looks.
Hacking and slashing isn't the only thing you can do. Shortly after you meet Ophelia, Eddie uses Clementine in a rhythm-style minigame to raise a relic showing blueprints of the Deuce, which Eddie can use to get around this massive open world. Same with the weapons, Eddie can also upgrade the Deuce with armor, a bigger engine, and more weapons to help fight enemy forces around the world. In order to do this, you must find and raise motor forges and trade fire tributes to the Guardian of Metal. Fire tributes can be acquired by completing side quests, fighting enemies, or jumping off ramps, so they're quite abundant, and I highly recommend doing so, since fights can get pretty tough if you're not prepared.
It's not until you gather troops to fight against the rising tyranny of Lionwhite and Diviculus where the third gameplay style is incorporated, real-time strategy. So each team is given their own stage that acts as a home base. Using fan geysers, each side can build merch booths to appease the fans, which act as sort of currency, allowing the players to summon troops to the battlefield. Unlike other RTSs like StarCraft 2 or Battle for Middle-earth, you don't just control each troop class individually. Instead, you're in control of Eddie the entire time.
But if you're in control of Eddie, how are you going to keep track of what happens on the battlefield? I mean, that's a lot of ground to cover for one guy.
Well, you see, it's simple, really. Eddie sprouts demon wings and flies around the battlefield.
Oh, that's metal as fuck!
Yeah, during the first battle against Lionwhite's forces, Eddie suffers from back pain but just shrugs it off, only to sprout giant demon wings before the second fight with his enemies. He honestly doesn't think much of it, claiming it's a gift from the gods, and honestly it is. I mean, do you have any idea how difficult it would have been to do all this on foot? Sure, you can use your car to get around, but let's be real here. Who wouldn't want to sprout demon wings and fly around the battlefield?
Eddie can order his troops around by pressing different directions on the D-pad. Pressing up sends troops towards a spotlight, which Eddie can use to highlight any position or object on the battlefield. Pressing down has troops stay in one spot and defend the area, and by pressing left, troops follow Eddie wherever he goes. Eddie can team up with any of these troops and deal some serious damage to any enemies who dare oppose him. Headbangers form a mosh pit, Razor Girls jump on Eddie's shoulders, and even the other heroes join in on the action. Unfortunately, while this is admittedly pretty cool, I don't find myself doing it that often.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Eddie by himself is a powerhouse. He can do so many different things better than the troops. Whether it's power sliding into enemies, running them over with the deuce, or melting their goddamn faces off, Eddie overall is just OP, assuming you get all the abilities he can use.
But there is one thing keeping Eddie from being the best roadie in the entire universe.
What's that?
He can't jump. Seriously, why give Eddie all this power, all these abilities, and not give him the basic ability to jump? While we're on the subject, why can't we turn into a demon in the overworld? Do you have any idea how awesome it would be to fly around this vast world as an unstoppable demon? That'd be so fucking cool.
Yeah, the fact that Eddie can't jump is pretty laughable, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend like it ruins the game in any way. Brütal Legend is by far one of the best games I've ever played, and it really sucks that it didn't get the attention it deserved upon its release. The story is great, the presentation is awesome, and the gameplay, while a mixed bag, is pretty damn fun.
So what you're saying is, Demon's Metal is fuck!
Damn right it is. Now, what are we going to do with this disc?
Well, I think I'll take it. I mean, it's been out in the open too long, and it may attract some unwanted attention.
What? No way! I found it, it should stay with me. Besides, I have way more experience fighting evil than you do.
Yeah, a grand total of one bad guy. Just give me the disc.
No, it's mine. No, it should be mine.
Give
God
it
damn it,
to
I
me,
found
man.
it. Just let me just fucking... You're gonna break it! Look what you did!
Me? You wouldn't give it to me to keep it safe.
Fuck you!
Fuck me, fuck you!
Fuck you! What the hell
You
did
know
you
I had
have
to do
for
that.
it? It was
You know
perfect!
it was no,
Beautiful!
no.
I had it! That was the game. Look! Look, okay, it would have been safe with me.
No,
you
no,
know,
wait.
we know.
I didn't do that to
We
keep
know
it safe.
that I'm the best
No,
person.
no.
Dude, just don't
Look,
even
I
start
just
with me.
know-
Hiya, fellas!
Hello, Joe!
What's up, my ho-ho homeboys?
Well, you see, Joe, I found this golden disc that housed the Brütal game of Legend, and this asshole just had to try and take it from me.
To keep it safe from evil, dude. Like I said, it's been out in the open too long, and someone could come and try to take it, or worse, kill us.
Well, you're a buttface.
You're a buttface.
Fuck you!
Fuck me, fuck you!
Fuck both of you! Look, guys, you two are friends. Don't let a game ruin that. Except if it's like Mario Party, then that's understandable.
Hobo Joe's right. We can't let a game tear us apart like this. I mean, unless it's Mario Party. But
Right, yeah.
It's
yeah,
besides the point, like you said. I'm sorry I called you your buttface.
I'm sorry, too. Friends?
Friends.
Friends.
I love bringing people together. Here, let me have the disc. I'm homeless, so no one will expect me of having it. Now, run along home, you two.
This is my house. Why the hell would he just tell me to...
Finally, the golden disc is mine, and soon the world will be as well.
Holy shit, it's Stan!
What'd you call me?
I called you Stan. You know, Lord of the Underworld, Tormentor of Souls, Stan!
It's Satan, you idiot!
No, that doesn't sound right.
Shut up! It doesn't matter what you'll be calling me. You'll soon be calling me Master.
No thanks, dude. Neither of us sing that way.
What? No, not that way. I'm going to soon be ruling over the entire Earth, and there's nothing you two pathetic creatures can do to stop me.
Wait! So, you're the devil. You like deals, right? That's kind of your thing?
Look, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I'm trying to cut back on making deals. My therapist says I kind of have a problem, and my life has been better since I stopped.
Oh, come on. One more isn't going to kill you, is it?
Ace, what are you doing?
Hold on, I got this. It's okay. Please.
Alright, just one more. So, mortal, what did you have in mind?
One-on-one match in multiplayer. If you win, you get the disc and you can take over the world. But if I win, you have to pay our rent for the rest of our lives and get the fuck out of here.
Alright. But you have to use this.
What? That's not fair.
Sidekick. It's okay. Really. You got yourself a deal.
Excellent. And let the battle begin! I have every merge booth and you're out of troops. You might as well give up.
Never. Never! I'm gonna beat you, Stan!
For the last time, it's Satan!
Doesn't matter, cause your ass is toast.
No! No! How are you doing this?
I'm just fucking awesome.
Man, that was close.
I know, dude. It's a good thing I spent the better half of the game's life playing the multiplayer.
Yeah, no kidding.
You know what, dude? We make a pretty good team. I miss playing games with you.
Same here, dude. We'll have to do it again sometime.
Well, we could do it right now. I mean, you could help me play Shadow the Hedgehog.